Hi guys and welcome back. Well, to continue our October theme of horror, we're going to be taking a look at Alan Wake. Right, well here we have Alan Wake. The game was developed by Remedy Entertainment and was published by Microsoft Game Studios. And looking at some of the names there for the producer, designer, programmers and artists and writers, yeah, I don't want to murder them, but Sam Lake, that's an easy one, and no, I'm not going to attempt the others. The game came out originally on the Xbox 360, but I wouldn't call it an Xbox exclusive because it also was available for the Microsoft Windows. It was released in 2010, and even though this is classed as an action-adventure, I would class it as, again, a psychological action-adventure. The game is very clever. It starts off with Alan having a dream, and you'll see what happens in that shortly. And then it develops from there, and you start questioning, is this whole thing a dream? What's going on? Is he really reliving it? Is it past memories? Has he gone through some sort of time warp? Is he in the past? Is he in the future? And it's where the psychological side of the game really kicks in. It's got a wicked storyline. You learn about it in the first episode, and then you're just almost at times on a bit of a crazy ride. It's a brilliant also action adventure game as well, but it's the story that keeps you gripped. And for this one, story, it's getting 9 out of 10.
I've always had a vivid imagination, but this dream unsettled me. It was wild and dark and weird, even by my standards. So yes, it began with a dream. Following a typical nightmare pattern, I was late, desperately trying to reach my destination, a lighthouse. For some urgent reason, I couldn't remember. I'd been driving too fast down a coastal road to get there. I'd seen the hitchhiker too late. He was dead. I was convinced they'd put me in jail and I would never see Alice again. Suddenly, his body was gone. I was in shock from the crash. I could hardly stand my feet. I had to go to the lighthouse. I knew there was something important waiting for me there. The bridge had collapsed. I'd have to find another way to the lighthouse.
You don't even recognize me, do you, Ryder? You think you're God? You think you can just make up stuff? Play with people's lives and kill them when you think it adds to the drama? You're in this story now, and I'll make you suffer.
He's here. Shh, baby. Just another nightmare. Everything's fine. You dozed off.
Right. Anything more than dozed off would be news for everyone.
Audio. Well, the music is brilliant. It sets the tone and the mood throughout the game. The only problem is it's not very memorable, but memorable or not, it is brilliant and I do thoroughly enjoy it. The voice acted is very well scripted and is actually acted out extremely well. As for the, I suppose, everyday noises, just what you expect from a blockbuster of a film, let alone a game. And you will struggle to find faults with any of the audio in this game. And for that, it's going to get 10 out of 10.
Alice? Alice? Alice! The cabin had gone dark. All the lights were out. Alice, I'm coming! What the hell? Alice? Alice? Oh no!
Controls. Well, they are very easy to pick up, and this game is like any other modern game out there when it comes to controls. It will hold your hand right at the very beginning and teach you how to use them. What I actually found was it seemed to be very over-responsive at the beginning and seemed a little cumbersome. But give yourself time to adapt and you will thank yourself for those fast response times later in the game. So I certainly can't be too harsh, but I am going to give it 8 out of 10.
Hello? Hello? Is someone there? The loose sheets of paper were pages from a manuscript entitled Departure. That was the name I planned to use for the next novel I had never gotten started. I was named the author. I hadn't written it. I couldn't remember writing it. In the scene on the page, the hero was attacked by an axe murderer in the woods at night.
Graphics. Well, just look at them. They're beautiful. And it's the graphics that certainly help set the atmosphere for the entire game. If you look at the vegetation, the weather, the architecture, the lighting I think on this game is brilliant. I really do like the way the torch shines through the darkened forest. I think that's just fantastic. And they have took a lot of time to get the details right. And the game does look very authentic. It really does. And for this, you can't praise them enough. I think it's brilliant. It sets the mood, creates the atmosphere, and again, you're like playing a blockbuster of a film. And for that, it gets another 10 out of 10.
It's rabbit season!
Gameplay. Well, this psychological thriller is one hell of a ride, and if you are a lover of survival horror games, you're going to thoroughly enjoy this. It does play similar to Resident Evil, but it's got the right amount of action and the right amount of problem solving. But it's the storyline that'll keep you going, and it is just brilliant, utterly brilliant. I suppose the only downside is, once you've played the game all the way through, you're not likely to pick it up again straight away. But, you know, horses for courses and all that. If you do enjoy survival horrors, you've got to play this one. You really have, and it is fantastic, because once you start, it's very hard to put down. And for that, I'm going to give it another 8 out of 10.
After the insanity I had just experienced in the darkness, the lights of the gas station felt comforting. At least for a moment, the sane world reasserted itself. All right. I'll keep writing. Outside, there's only darkness. Outside the cabin, outside the story, there's only darkness. I can feel her presence in the dark. Just now, I could smell her perfume in the room. I'll reach her. I'll fix it up. I'll bring her back. The story will come true. If I stop, she's lost. I don't believe this. It'd been me on the TV, talking crazy. Was I losing my mind?
And you will think he's lost his mind at times. This is a fantastic psychological survival horror game that will keep you on your toes, and once you start, you'll find it very hard to stop. The only downside is, once you played it through the once, you're not likely to come back to it for a while. But with all that said, I'm still going to give this game an overall score of 9 out of 10.
Oh, thank God, Sheriff.
Sheriff Sarah Breaker, you are...
I'm Alan Wake, but listen, I was in a car crash. My wife, Alice, she's missing.
Calm down, Mr. Wake.
We were staying in a cabin on the island, on Cauldron Lake.
There's no island on Cauldron Lake, not since the big eruption in the 70s.
Please, I can take you there, okay?
You look like you've taken a pretty bad knock to the head. Are you okay?
So, is he dreaming? Was he in a car accident? Has he gone into the past? Has he gone into the future? Where's his wife? What the hell's going on? What seems to be chasing him? Is it something he's wrote about? Oh, you know, it goes on. The psychological thriller will have you on your toes, and it's a brilliant game with a fantastic experience and just a brilliant, brilliant storyline that you've got to play. Go out, play it, experience it for yourself. Well, that's just about all I've got time for. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I've enjoyed bringing this one to you. Let me know, what's your favourite horror games? Is there any out there? Who knows? I might be reviewing it this month. Drop me a message, leave me a comment, and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and I'll catch you again. Take care.